Warlock has arrived to rewrite the rules. Is he a must-have or a pass? Let's dive in. We'll start off by taking a look at the stats. Now we see that overall he's a top 30 character in the game, 30th for power overall. But we look at his stats, we don't see too much that really jumps out, right? His health is good, 37th, damage 12, and that's interesting because he is a controller character. We don't really expect him to be doing a lot of damage, but 12th is not bad. Since he is a controller, we do see his focus is at 13th overall in the game, so that's going to allow him to land those control effects. His speed is 121. Again, nothing really amazing there, kind of halfway point. He's going to go halfway through the character's rotation, right? He's going to go third on this team as far as speed. Initially, we don't see anything that jumps off the page, but when it comes to Warlock, I'm telling you, it's what's under the hood that counts. The way that his abilities work, the way things fit together, it's incredible, guys. It's incredible. Let me show you what I mean. For our ISO selection, we're going to go with Skirmisher. Now, I need you to hang with me for a minute while we dive into the nuts and bolts of why I think this is the appropriate ISO to choose. Now, with Warlock, we want to be mindful that we do not want to clear vulnerables. We want to be placing vulnerables. So with Skirmisher, note it says that on the hit, you're going to apply 2 vulnerable to the primary target. If the target already has vulnerable, you're going to flip 2 positive effects to bleed. Now, that is very important when it comes to the New Mutant team. For example, we have Wolfsbane here. On her passive ability, if an enemy gains bleed, she fills her speed bar by 10%. Now, this is up to 10 bleeds, it says earlier in her ability. So again, what we're doing here is just giving another opportunity for Wolfsbane's speed bar to increase. Overall, it just makes it so she goes more frequently, she goes faster, she does more damage, she gets more critical strikes, which again helps to ramp up the team. In addition, we want those vulnerables out there because Warlock can use those to manipulate them and turn them into other type of control effects, most notably ability block. Let's get into his passive ability, Technarch Team. Now, this is a driving force for the team as a whole. Notice how it works. Until this character completes a turn, right? So until Warlock completes a turn, enemies cannot gain offense up. Warlock and New Mutant allies cannot be stunned, they cannot get defense down or exposed. Now, recognize this does not apply only to Cosmic Crucible. This so far is a global attribute. So it's something to keep in mind. We cannot be exposed if you're using, again, Warlock, the New Mutants. So it will end up being a counter, a solid counter to Mephisto and other individuals that might drop exposed on your character. Anybody else who can get early stuns, things of that nature. Now, what about inside of Cosmic Crucible? Well, when Warlock or any New Mutant allies turn, if that character does not have defense up and has any negative effects, you're going to flip one of those negative effects to defense up and then flip all remaining negative effects to deflect. So think about what that means. Anywhere during the course of the matchup, if you start getting negative effects applied to your characters, when it's your person's turn, if you don't have defense up, you get a means to defend yourself, and then you get deflects to help block the rest of the incoming attacks. Now, especially is the case for Cannonball. He's the tank of the team. He's going to be receiving a lot of negative attention, and his kit is designed to thrive. He gets stronger the more deflects he gets. Warlock's presence is what's going to make Cannonball an unstoppable force. The passive continues. In Crucible, if Warlock has 3 New Mutant allies, so you are allowed to bring an additional character in, right? You are allowed to plug and play. You need Warlock and 3 of the New Mutants. You could plug and play somebody else and things will still work. On spawn, after all other characters on spawn effects, you're going to transfer all the speed ups, the defense ups, and the offense ups from the enemies to Warlock and then spread those to the rest of the New Mutant team. Your opponents can only gain speed through positive effects, and you just took away the speed up from the opposing side. Something else that's very important, the speed of the character and each ally can only be reduced by slow. So you can only slow Warlock down if you somehow put slow on him. Other effects from different characters' kits will not work. This makes it so that the New Mutants will continue to have, generally speaking, their turn order will not be interrupted. They will be able to fight and attack in a reasonable order, and that should help them keep control of the matchup. By way of example, look at the opponent's side. We have the Illuminati team, they get their positive effects. We're going to take all of those and put them on our side of the field. Cannonball still gets to go first. He's unaffected by Emma Frost's speed ability. And then we're going to get Wolfsbane. She has a couple negative effects there, and when it's her turn, she's simply going to flip those into deflects. In this Brimstone matchup, we see that Brimstone takes the Alpha Strike. Damon, he's doing big damage to our team, and he's putting traumas on the board. Now, Cannonball did not get trauma, right? Cannonball did not get trauma. So when he takes a turn, he's able to convert all that negative into positive. He's got deflects, and he's still ready to rock. Unfortunately, Wolfsbane did get trauma, so she will not be able to clear her negative effects in this case. Now, that might seem dangerous. We might be in a position where we can't get rid of those negative effects. However, after Wolfsbane goes, it's then Warlock's turn, and we can use his ultimate Nanite Tank. What that is going to do is reduce the duration of all negative effects on Warlock and the New Mutants by 2. So he will eliminate, generally speaking, the rest of those negative effects, including trauma. Then he's going to attack all the opponents and apply silence for 2 turns, as well as trauma for 2 turns. And this so far is a global ability. It's going to happen everywhere. However, if you are in Cosmic Crucible, this will also give you 50% additional piercing damage. Now, putting that silence on the board is important. It allows Wolfsbane to attack, and she gets an enhanced critical strike when attacking in silence, which again supercharges the team. Now in Crucible, this continues to get even wilder. If you have Warlock and 3 other New Mutant allies, what you're going to be able to do is flip vulnerables, charged, and revive once on your opponent, right? If they have those buffs, you will turn those into ability blocks. So that's why we picked the ISO that we did. We don't want to consume vulnerables. We're going to use this Nanite Tank ability to ability block individuals. So you can use that to your advantage. You can hit individuals early on in the matchup, knowing that when Warlock goes, you're going to ability block them. In addition, this is crazy. On your side of the field, if you have vulnerables, if you have exposed, if you have darkness, you're going to flip any of that stuff to immunity, right? And that's going to be on Warlock and all the New Mutant allies. Okay. Not only that, you're going to clear battlefield effects on your side of the field. So Null puts effects on your side of the field. Odin puts effects on your side of the field, and so does Franklin. Now the Franklin, again, we can't really use that at the moment, but perhaps there will come a time when we can indeed use that to our advantage. And notice that the attack is unavoidable and cannot be blocked. This will take place. Let's go ahead and pick this up real time. So we have Null here. He's using his move. He's putting darkness on our side, as well as putting up that battlefield effect. Mephisto goes. He has charged. Many of our opponents also have vulnerables. Wolfsbane is going to go, and then we're going to see Warlock. He's going to use his ultimate ability. He's going to clear the battlefield effect. He's going to remove the darkness from our side, as you can see that happening right there. And then our opponents are all ability blocked. So we just went from being controlled to taking control of this matchup. Another situation, we got Odin. He's using a special here. He's going to get charged, and now he's counting down to destroying us. That's not what we want. We're not in a good spot. Null goes, puts a battlefield effect up. Things could be difficult right here. They could be difficult right here. Odin is also in stealth, meaning we cannot target him. So we can fix all that when Warlock takes his turn. So when Warlock goes, he's going to again remove those charges from Odin. That will put Odin in a position to use his ultimate ability, but in the meantime, he hasn't got set up so he can keep swiping us. Battlefield effect on Null's side is gone, and things are now basically 50-50, right? It's almost like resetting the match, and since it's our turn to go, that kind of gives us again that Alpha Strike, meaning we can control the rest of the matchup. His special ability is called Bomb Copter. So if Warlock does not have trauma, then what's going to happen is he's going to take all the negative effects from the New Mutants and put them on himself, and then flip those into positive effects. Next, he gets to retaliate with an attack all, and he's going to put silence out there for 2 turns. Once again, that's going to allow Wolfsbane to get critical strikes, which is going to enhance the team. In addition, it's going to clear all battlefield effects on the allied side. So looking at the previous example, right, if Odin does get to go and he does get to apply that battlefield effect to our side of the field, this still allows us to maintain control of the matchup and press the attack. And as a reminder, enemies killed by this attack cannot be revived, and this attack is unavoidable. So in this matchup, Professor X has evade, and so we're not gonna be able to hit him. But Warlock's move is unavoidable. That means we can cut through the evade. We get rid of the negatives on our side. Nice AoE attack. Silence on the opposing side of the field, meaning they cannot control us. Automatic critical strike because of the silence. So now he's gone, and so with that happening, that pretty much guarantees we will indeed win the matchup. And again, I wasn't saying this clearly before. Attacking into silence and blind increases the critical hit rate for all New Mutant allies. Then of course we have the basic ability, arm configuration, attack. It's going to attack our primary target for damage, flip 3 random positive effects. So again, they got positive effects on the board. You're going to turn those into negative effects, and then it's going to put stealth to all New Mutant allies with 50% health or less. So this is a way to keep the rest of the team safe. It can trigger again on assists and things like that, and it will just passively keep your team safe. The art department, always, the animations that they do with this stuff is always so amazing. So we'll just go ahead and slow it down and watch the KO animation for that basic ability. Always good, man. So in my opinion, Warlock isn't just another toon, he's a meta disruptor. He's that combination of characters that can take the chaos of the battlefield and bring it under your control. He brings utility that you can't ignore and survivability that is going to help your team outlast your opponents. Do you agree with my assessment? I'm going after him day one, but if you have a different route, let me know how you feel about things in the comments below. Hey, as always, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.